Thanks so much for being with us here on Atlanta News First Plus. I want to get you to some breaking news just into our newsroom a short time ago. We want to let you know that we've learned that a plane has made an emergency landing in a field in South Newton County. This is according to the sheriff's office there. We've learned, thankfully, no one has been injured in this, but the plane did go down by the intersection of McDonald Road and Bates Road, according to deputies in Newton County. It's still not known exactly why the plane had to make an emergency landing. That's under investigation. Officials have also not shared at this point what model the plane is or how many passengers were on board. Obviously, a bit of a scare anytime an emergency landing has to be made on a plane, especially given what we've seen with air disasters over the last week. But thankfully, no one was injured. We're happy to report that after this plane made an emergency landing in a field in Newton County, according to the Sheriff's Department. We're going to keep following the breaking developments and keep you up to date with the latest here on Atlanta News First Plus, and obviously our website, atlantanewsfirst.com. I also want to now announce they are expanding how many schools have weapon detection systems. The district added the systems to high schools after the mass shooting at Appalachian High School in September, which killed 2 students and 2 teachers, and also injured 9 other people in addition to that. And obviously that tragedy has changed so much in Georgia, particularly, but around the nation. And so now these new systems are going to be installed within the next week. In middle schools also, not just in high schools. One of the victim's brothers spoke at the school board meeting about this.
You can't bring my brother back, but you sure can do the necessary steps to make sure this doesn't happen again. Show us that your heart is on this matter. Treat this as if your children attended this school.
And some parents are saying that more needs to be done because teachers are not taking the new security measures seriously. So that's something that, of course, we're going to continue to follow. And now I want to get to this story out of Douglas County. If I just want to move on to this story here in Douglas County for a moment, because a mom there is pleading for answers. She's heartbroken, she's devastated, she's outraged. And this comes after deputies found her son dead in a car during a traffic stop. According to the Douglas County Sheriff's Office, a young man was pulled over during a traffic stop on I-20 on January 29th, and then deputies found the body of 21-year-old Malachi Mitchell in that car. They say that they took the driver to the sheriff's office for questioning. They let him go pending the outcome of the investigation, saying that he was actually being cooperative. They say the district attorney's office has been briefed on the facts of the case. Mitchell's mother, Kenya Mitchell, says this is what a deputy at the sheriff's office told her that the driver said. I mean, she's absolutely outraged.
The person who shot and confessed to shooting my son is at home within hours of them finding my son's body in the car with this young man that was supposed to be purchasing a gun from my son.
Well, to be clear, the sheriff's office has not publicly said if Mitchell was shot. They also have not said why the car was pulled over in the first place. We are working to get that information. Sarah Hammond has more.
We are working to get some more key details in this case, but what we know from the sheriff's office right now is that a young man was pulled over for a traffic stop on I-20 on January 29th, and deputies found the body of 21-year-old Malachi Mitchell in the car. They say they took the driver to the sheriff's office for questioning. They let the driver go pending the outcome of the investigation, saying he was being cooperative. And they say the district attorney's office has been briefed on the facts of the case. And Mitchell's mother, Kenya Mitchell, says this is what a deputy at the sheriff's office told her the driver said.
The person who shot and confessed to shooting my son is at home within hours of them finding my son's body in the car with this young man that was supposed to be purchasing a gun from my son.
To be clear, the sheriff's office has not publicly said if Mitchell was shot. They also have not said why the driver of that car was pulled over in the first place. We are working to get that information. At the Douglas County Sheriff's Office, Sarah Hammond for Atlanta News First.
you know what today is? It is National Weather Person's Day. And we're so grateful to have our wonderful First Alert weather team. And joining us now, we have First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi. I know you've got, it's not as nice weather that you're going to tell us about as what we've been having, but we're so happy that at least you're telling us.
Thank you, Joy. That is so kind. Yes, we do have some changes to the forecast on the way in the coming days. We have some rain that's going to roll in tonight, and it is going to be a little cloudier the next couple of days. So we've had a lot of beautiful sunshine the last several days. It's been nice and warm, especially for February standards, and now we're starting to see at least some slight changes. But I will say, at least the positive note is we are going to stay nice and warm over the next several days. So get excited about that. I know I am. We do have changes on the way, even bigger changes other than just the cloud cover, maybe a few spotty showers coming next Tuesday. So I just want to let you know you have to enjoy this weather while it lasts because it's not going to stick around all that much longer. A First Alert weather day for next Tuesday. It does look like rain will become widespread potentially next Tuesday. That's also going to kick off a cooler and wetter pattern overall. Temperatures will get much colder. The exact timing and coverage of the rain for next Tuesday and beyond still needs some work, but it does look like Tuesday kicks off just a very different pattern than what we've been experiencing the last couple of days. In the meantime, enjoy the 70s again this afternoon. It is going to be mostly cloudy. You might have a quick passing shower or two through the afternoon. The most widespread coverage of rain today comes after 7 o'clock, and I'll take you through First Alert Futurecast in just a second. But nonetheless, our average high is 56 this time of year. We're topping out anywhere from 69 to 75 degrees across North Georgia today. It's going to be fantastic. What's going to happen is the reason you are warmer south of I-20 is because a warm front is setting up south of Atlanta. Underneath warm fronts, you get this southerly flow that pulls in that warmer air. Just like behind cold fronts, you get colder air. Behind warm fronts, you get warmer air, right? So that's going to lift through the day today. And what that will do is kind of lock in moisture, keeping us in kind of that muggy atmosphere that we've had. When you step outside, you probably notice it feels a little more damp out there. The air feels a little more thick. Yeah, well, this warm front has something to do with that. And as it continues to lift, what that's going to do is leave us unsettled. So again, a stray shower or two possible over the next several hours, but that highest coverage of rain as that front really lifts through North Georgia. We'll look at scattered showers after 7 o'clock. Not necessarily widespread, but scattered light rain possible. If you have any dinner plans tonight, you might want to bring an umbrella or a raincoat with you just in case. It does look like the most widespread coverage of rain will be after sunset, well into the late evening, into the overnight hours. Here's a look at 1 o'clock in the morning. You could see fairly widespread light rain possible. So we don't think that this rain's really going to have an impact on your day, hence us dropping that First Alert weather day for today. The rain looks lesser in coverage. We think it could impact your day. Most of it moves in overnight. Regardless, this front is north of us, the warm front north of us tomorrow, and that will allow all of us, the gates will open for that warm weather for all of us again. So we will end up being warmer tomorrow, but we will stay unsettled. As long as our humidity is a little higher, we'll have enough moisture to generate at least a few showers the next several days. We're also going to have weather systems pass by to our north, which I'll talk about in just a second. And that's going to keep small rain chances in the forecast for the foreseeable future. Tomorrow, again, warm front goes to our north. We're looking at a warmer day with highs in the mid-70s, the record 73. So right now we are on track to break a record for tomorrow. We'll be mostly dry. Notice that coverage of rain at 20%, so very spotty shower possible tomorrow. Here's a look at our setup and why we are going to enter into this kind of more unsettled pattern that really kicks off today. We're going to have this ridge in the mid to upper levels build over us, and that is going to keep our temperatures warm, but what it's also going to do is steer weather systems to our north. They're not going to ever move through. That ridge is going to serve as kind of like a force field for us and steer all these weather systems to our north, kind of along the Georgia-Tennessee border. So what that will allow is the highest coverage of rain to be north of Atlanta. So small rain chances will be possible. We'll never have a cold front sweep through and bring us widespread rain for right now. That could happen next week. But as long as this stays in control, weather systems will keep moving to our north. This really progressive pattern sets up that will keep most of the rain to our north all the way through the weekend. And you can see that in the rainfall totals here. South of I-20, we're looking at like a tenth to maybe 2/10 of an inch of rain. The city of Atlanta, I think 0.7 inches might be a little high, but nonetheless around half an inch of rain possible. But the bigger thing I want you to focus on is look at the difference between south of I-20 and the mountains. We're looking at like a 1/10 of an inch south of I-20, but maybe upwards of 2 inches of rain up in the mountains. So that just goes to show you that those weather systems will really be riding along that Georgia-Tennessee border, bringing most of the rain north of the city. For Metro, our rain chances stay at about 20 to 30% all the way into the weekend. Temperature-wise, we are going to stay warm all the way through Sunday with a high of 78 expected on Saturday. Get outside on Saturday, y'all. Sunday, few showers possible, temperatures stay in the 70s, but then a cold front moves through early next week, and that's going to drop our temperatures into the 60s Monday. It'll be Sunday night into Monday. Temperatures drop Monday into the 60s. Tuesday's our first alert weather day. You can see temperatures go back into the 50s, which is normal for us for this time of year, but going from 78 to 56 over a 20-degree drop, we've had this great week. We wanted to give you a heads up. It's not lasting all that much longer, and it does look like Tuesday is also when we'll start to have those fronts actually move through. That ridge will move out. Cold fronts will start to move in. We'll have widespread rain, so next week does look a little bit wet and cold for us, unfortunately, going into, of course, the week of Valentine's Day next week. Here's a look at your first alert 7-day forecast. For today, we are looking at temperatures in the 70s, low 70s, mostly cloudy skies and mostly dry, maybe a stray shower. Tonight after 7 o'clock, we'll look for a more widespread coverage of showers. So if you're out and about tonight, you might want to bring the raincoat with you just in case. You might hear some rain overhead overnight tonight. Tomorrow, warmer and mostly dry, some patchy fog possible in the morning, so just take it easy tomorrow morning. Highs in the mid-70s. We'll stay in the 70s all the way through Sunday with at least small rain chances. And then as we go into next week, it does look like we cool off with that first alert weather day Tuesday for widespread rain. Timing still needs work on that. That could end up shifting into Wednesday, but right now we wanted to give you that heads up. Next week, it does look like we kick off a wetter and much colder pattern with temperatures dropping into the 50s Tuesday. We could even have some high temperatures in the 40s next week. All right, everyone, thank you so much for spending some time with us here on Atlanta News First Plus. We always appreciate you choosing us for your news and your weather. Hope you make it a wonderful day. Enjoy the warm weather while it lasts, everyone, and we'll catch you here next time.